The slap cracked through Rosie's cafe like a gunshot. For a heartbeat, no one moved. Cole Brennan sat perfectly still in the cracked vinyl booth by the window, his head turned slightly to the side from the impact. A thin line of blood crept from the corner of his mouth, warm and metallic, dripping onto the clean white napkin on the table. Across from him, his 8-year-old daughter Penny froze, both hands wrapped tightly around her mug of hot chocolate. The marshmallow snowman family she had so carefully built moments earlier sagged and began to melt, forgotten. The man who'd hit him laughed. Derek Hollis, late 20s, broad grin, louder than the room, circled the table like a predator enjoying the moment before the kill. His expensive sneakers squeaked softly against the checkered floor. "What's wrong, old man?" Derek sneered. "Too scared to fight back in front of your little princess?" Every other customer in the cafe suddenly found something fascinating on their plates. Their phones, the floor. Chairs scraped as people shifted away, creating space, creating silence. Something changed in Cole's eyes. Not anger, not panic, calculation. His hands, calloused, steady, the same hands that shaped oak into furniture and braided Penny's hair every morning, rested flat on the table. Completely still. Derek saw a coward. He didn't see the ghost. Saturday mornings at Rosie's were usually gentle things. Sunlight poured through wide windows, painting golden rectangles across worn wooden tables and scuffed checkered tiles. The air smelled of fresh coffee and cinnamon rolls, comfort and routine baked into every breath. An elderly couple shared a newspaper in the corner booth, coffee cups leaving familiar rings on a laminated menu they'd stopped reading years ago. A young mother near the back negotiated peace with a syrup-covered toddler and a towering stack of pancakes. This was small-town America, at its most ordinary, the kind of place where strangers stood out and regulars didn't need menus. Cole Brennan was as regular as they came. He always took the booth by the window with the cracked vinyl seat no one else wanted. Penny sat across from him now, tongue peeking from the corner of her mouth as she arranged marshmallows in her hot chocolate. "This one's a daddy snowman," she announced seriously, stacking them with surgical precision. "He's the biggest because he has to protect the baby snowman from the hot chocolate ocean." Cole smiled, a soft ache blooming in his chest. He reached across the table and gently tucked a strand of blonde hair behind her ear. "That's a very smart daddy snowman," he said quietly. "He's lucky to have such a good artist." At 45, Cole looked exactly like what he wanted the world to see. A tired working man in a faded flannel shirt and worn jeans, gray, creeping into his dark hair. The scars on his hands passed easily as woodworking accidents. At least the newer ones did. The older scars, the ones running along his knuckles and forearms, belonged to stories he never told. 5 years ago, his world had collapsed. Rachel, the drunk driver, the red light, the phone ringing while he sanded a rocking horse for Penny's 3rd birthday. The rocking horse still sat unfinished in the corner of his workshop. Cole ran a small woodworking shop on the edge of town now. Honest work, quiet work, work that let him be home when Penny got off the bus, pack her lunches, help with homework, read stories until she fell asleep. The bell over the cafe door jingled. Cole's eyes flicked up automatically. 3 men entered, loud, aggressive, 1 leader, 2 followers. In another life, Cole would have mapped exits, weapons, angles. Now, he just noticed and let it go. Almost. They approached the counter where Maggie stood, all bright smile and tired eyes. She worked double shifts while putting herself through community college. Cole had built her a bookshelf last month and refused payment. "Hey, sweetheart," Derek said, leaning in. "How about your number with that coffee?" Maggie's smile wavered. "Just the coffee, sir." Derek laughed and reached across the counter, fingers lingering on her arm. "Please don't touch me," Maggie said, her voice tight. Cole stood. The movement drew eyes. He crossed the cafe with calm, unhurried steps and positioned himself between Maggie and the men. "She said no," Cole said gently. "That means no." Derek turned, amused. "Mind your business, old man." "It is my business," Cole replied, "and everyone else's." Silence fell. "I think you boys should leave." Derek stepped closer. alcohol heavy on his breath. You think you can tell me what to do? I know what you are, Cole said, and I'm asking nicely. The slap came fast. Cole tasted blood. Penny cried out, Daddy. Cole stayed still. Let it happen. Let Derek think he'd won. What's wrong? Derek mocked. Too scared to fight back? My daughter is watching, Cole said softly. She's learning. Derek scoffed. Yeah? Learning you're weak. Cole wiped blood from his lip. You're going to leave now. Derek grabbed his shoulder. That was when Cole moved. Not fast. Precise. In less than 2 seconds, Derek was on his knees, wrist twisted, breath locked in his throat under Cole's steady hand. I gave you a choice, Cole said calmly. You chose wrong. For the first time, Derek saw it, the cold, ancient patience in Cole's eyes. Some people used to call me the ghost, Cole whispered, and you're very close to learning why. Daddy, Penny's small voice broke through. Cole released him. Derek stumbled out, pale and shaking. Cole returned to the booth. Penny stared at him like she didn't quite recognize his face anymore. It's okay, he said gently. Her voice trembled. Your lip is bleeding. Before he could answer, the cafe door opened again. Police. 2 uniformed officers stepped into Rosie's cafe, hands already resting near their belts. The older one, Officer Jim Patterson, scanned the room with practiced calm. 23 years on the force had taught him how to read a scene in seconds. What he saw didn't quite add up. A shaken waitress behind the counter, a quiet man with a split lip, a little girl staring at her father like the ground had shifted beneath her feet. Mr. Brennan, Patterson said carefully, we got a call about a disturbance. Cole rose slowly, palms open, movements deliberate. 3 men harassed the waitress. I asked them to leave. One of them hit me. He touched his lip. I discouraged him from continuing. Maggie nodded shakily. So did several customers. Patterson's younger partner, Officer Reeves, frowned. Witnesses say you put him on his knees. I defended myself. Cole said evenly. The cafe door burst open again. Sheriff Wade Hollis strode in, fury etched across his face. Behind him limped Derek, clutching his arm. That's him, Derek spat. That's the psycho who attacked me. Wade's eyes hardened. Take him in. No. Penny screamed, launching herself at Cole's waist. You can't take my daddy. Cole knelt, cupping her tear-streaked face. I'll come back, he whispered. I promise. On Mommy's name. Her sobs broke him, but he stood. At the station, Wade made his offer. Confess or suffer. Cole asked for a phone call. He dialed a number he hadn't used in years. The voice on the other end answered calmly. Ghost, I was wondering when you'd call. Colonel Harrison Brooks arrived 2 hours later. 2 black SUVs. No plates anyone could trace. Brooks wore civilian clothes, but authority clung to him like a second skin. Wade's confidence evaporated the moment he read the card Brooks placed on his desk. Security footage, criminal records, financial trails. If anything happens to Cole Brennan or his daughter, Brooks said quietly, this becomes public. The FBI arrived shortly after. Cole was released within 20 minutes. Outside, sunlight felt unreal. Brooks shook his hand. Rachel would have been proud, he said. Cole nodded. I'm done being a weapon. That's the strongest choice, Brooks replied. Penny waited on a bench outside Rosie's with Maggie. She ran to him, sobbing with relief. You came back. I always will. A week later, they returned to the cafe. Same booth, same bell, same cinnamon smell. But the room watched them differently now. Maggie smiled brighter. Penny stacked sugar packets. Life resumed. Daddy, Penny asked softly, are you happy being a dragon who doesn't breathe fire? Cole smiled. I'm happy being your dad. That evening, on the porch as stars emerged, Penny leaned against him. I'm glad you're my daddy, she said, even the dragon parts. Cole kissed her hair, heart full and steady. Somewhere inside him, the ghost slept, watchful, patient. But here, with his daughter's hand in his, there was peace. And for Cole Brennan, that was enough.